Hello, guys. Once again, I want to welcome you back to our weekly market outlook and setup analysis. All right. Um, and This is a new week, and we'll be looking at different possibilities that the market will give to us as we trade in this coming week. Okay. Before we start this review and analysis, I want you to subscribe to this YouTube channel, right? Just hit the subscribe button and it will cost you nothing, right? And also hit the notification bell so that anytime I upload videos, you can have access to them. And as well, you can follow us on Instagram and join our Telegram channel. The link is in the description box, right? So you can join our channel Telegram channel and get setup analysis and also educational materials that will help you to grow in this industry. All right, thank you once again. So quickly, just as our culture, we're going to look at dollar index, and as you can see, just like what I said last week, I told you last week that this market will come. It should retrace back a little bit before going higher, and as you can see, look at what happened. Right, for this week, we have this retracement Monday, Tuesday, then we have this pick up. So this is actually what you will see when you understand how the market is likely to work out. This is actually what we are anticipating and what we actually expect to happen for this coming week. Okay, what will now be the direction of the market this week? And as you can see, right from the weekly time frame, all right from the weekly time frame, you can see this consolidation. And I said that we want manipulation to take place, which is the manipulation. Then we want distribution. That shows that we're expecting this market to still go much more higher, right? We're expecting this market to go much more higher with this particular stuff. We have accumulation here, then market manipulated to the downside. Then we want to see it going higher. And with this, going to the daily time frame, and we can clearly see it, right? That okay, there is a higher low here, even though this was broken, and we want market to respond to this zone before market to go higher. With this particular block, might result to market really dropping for this week, right? Market can actually give us a manipulation, then come back to this particular block and find a rejection before we are going to see much or higher. This is actually a daily time frame. Then market might really come to this zone right before we are going to see it going higher. On a daily time frame, before I can look for a best opportunity for me to sell, it will actually going to be this particular zone, or let me say this whole zone, right? Will be a zone for me to look to sell this pair, right? That is going to be a much more better zone for us to sell. Now, looking at the 4 hour time frame, right? Just like what I said, we might really see probably this block might actually be a rejection for it. The market will come to this zone again, then before we see this pick up again. And that is not uh, an absolute, right? Because market can just continue to go higher. But I want to see every week, I want to see market dropping before going higher. But sometime market might not really give us that drop down before before going higher. So this implies that if market did not get to this zone, right, market can really come to this zone, right, this particular zone here, all right, this one here. So this is actually hidden OB or a kink. So this zone, we have this liquidity zone here. So market can really drop to this zone before we see it going higher. And on the 1 hour time frame, you can see this is actually an order block on the 1 hour time frame. So market will come, take out this yesterday's low, then actually this is actually a previous day low. Market will come here and actually continue to go higher. And you should also know the reason for this push down will be daily time frame really have another block here. And with this, we can see it on the 4 hour time frame. We have this block here that can really serve as a rejection. Then on the 1 hour time frame also, um, we can see the block here, all right, that can really serve as a rejection to this, all right, and market total liquidity hits that particular zone, then we might see it coming to this zone. The market is going to buy from this and actually go higher. So that is actually what I'll be going looking for. So when the market open, I want to see a drop to this zone, then market should buy from here, and we want to see a buy for the rest of the week. And just like what I said, our bias for uh, DXY, which is actually dollar index, is bullish for this week, which implies that I want to buy any pair that is USD SXX, right? To actually going to be a buy, and Euro XXS USD will be a sell. Now, this is not absolute because when the market open, we can actually have a change in direction, and I might not update you based on that. But this is really what we have for now. And let's also look at some other pairs, right? Just like what we always look at. So we're going to look at USD CHF or Euro USD first on the daily time frame. Let's start from the daily time frame and see, right? You can see what we have here also. Look at the sitting on the daily order block, and this might really make the market to pull back a little bit before dropping. And we can see this on the 4 hour time frame that this particular zone market will come back and probably eat this block, and this block might really be where we'll be looking for a selling opportunity, right, for this particular zone. Then on the 1 hour time frame, right, probably this particular zone, right, we want market to come to hit this zone, take out this high, then actually drop for the rest of the week. And as you can see on the daily time frame, we're already seeing a bearish move for us to really sell this pair. And the best buying zone for this pair will really be this particular zone. Yeah, that particular zone will be a best buying zone. So we want to see a best the opportunity for us to sell this pair, pull back into this daily order block, right, and pull back into this zone, and for us to sell it down to this zone, right. And for USDCHF, we can see that this pair is really bearish, right? It's really bearish, and there is no any confirmation for selling. I mean, there's no confirmation for buying. And let's go to 4 hour time frame and see what we are looking at. On 4 hour time frame, also we don't have an established upward movement. And just like what I said last week, I said this pair was going to drop down, and before we see any buying there, or I said this particular zone is going to get broken before we look to buy, and that's particular instance still holds. As you can see, this is actually an accumulation phase. The market was accumulating here. The market gave us a manipulation. So for this week, we can really see a um, a distribution whereby the market will be going higher. So that shows that market might actually give us a manipulation to the downside just a little bit and come to this zone, right? This particular zone, right? Before we see more uptrend move. And this will really follow what we really talk about on the um, on the uh, DXY, right? Market can really come to this zone, right, and come back to this. You can see this is actually an accumulation because market was really accumulating Thursday, Friday. So we want to see if market really go higher and actually take out this high, then that shows that this market can really continue to be a sell. But if this market come back because of this accumulation here, we have another accumulation phase here, right? So we want to see this market coming back to this zone, right? Because of this fair value gap also. Can you see this gap, right? Should be filled. Market come to this zone, then we want to see much more upward movement on this pair on USD CHF, right? So this is what I want to see on USD CHF. Then let's quickly go to gold. On gold on daily, I mean GBP USD, right? This pair also is bearish now, right? As you can see on the daily time frame, we're actually having a bearish move. So this particular block can serve as an area whereby this pair might really move higher also for this week, right? Checking the 4 hour time frame, right? When we look at the 4 hour time frame, right, we can really see that okay, market has actually made a lower low here, right? So for this week, I want to see a manipulation to the upside, showing that this space should be a buy, right? I mean, deceiving people to actually buy. We can see this particular zone here. The market should pull back to this, get it on this zone, then come down. Now, market can really do some funny stuff here by taking out this low and getting rejected at this fair value gap. This has not been filled. As you can see, we have a fair value gap here. It's beside a breakout zone. So this really shows that market can really come to this zone and get rejected before we see more downside. Now you can actually go back to my analysis and see how what I've explained really played out. Right? These are actually some awesome things that you can really look into in my analysis. Right? So this is what I'm really looking out for. Then on the 1 hour time frame also, right, I will be expecting the same thing because the 1 hour time frame is actually a clear bearish move. So this might really give us something like an HLPC whereby the market will take out this particular low, right? This particular low will be taken out. Then that might make market to come to this zone or probably to this zone, right? To this zone, then drop it down. Now, so that is actually what we might be seeing on that particular note. So preferably this this zone will be where the market will be rejecting from, right? And from there, we might really see the downside. And market can really pull back from this zone and get down. Now you can see I'm giving you two zones, this particular one and this particular one as an area whereby the market can be interested in dropping from. So just pay attention to this analysis and pay attention to what your chart and your strategy is saying for you to get a hold of what I'm talking about. Then on Euro JPY, right? Euro JPY, sorry about that. Euro JPY, daily time frame also, right? This is actually clear downward movement, so we are looking for a best opportunity for us to sell this pair. Then, and on the 4 hour time frame, we can see that this pair is really consolidating, right? So I want to see it going down more. But this is actually not a very clear zone. So let me see 1 hour time frame. 1 hour time frame is actually giving us that consolidation aspect of it. Then this implies that this particular low has been taken out, right? And market can really come back to take this high also before we can see more downside. But anyway, on the daily time frame is actually down. So this can really mean that this pair is still coming down more. Then on CAD JPY, that's actually not a clear one. And CAD JPY, this also is not a clear one, but I'm still expecting it to go down the more, right? So it's actually doing the same thing. This low should be taken out. So the market should continue to go down. It's just consolidating, but market will continue to go down. The 1 hour time frame um, is actually a clear bearish move. So when the market open, we want to see probably manipulation to the upside, then market will drop. Right. So let's look at gold. Right. Let's look at gold. All the JPY pairs are actually not clear. Probably if I see uh, any setup on that, I will send it to the page. Gold is actually a clear bearish move, right? So I talk about this high being taken out for us to take a trade, and this really actually gave me a trade last week, right? Gave me a trade last week, and it was actually a very great one before we have this change of trend, right? Change of trend. Now, this is actually LPC and it's actually a counter trade, right? And sometimes when the market give you a counter trade like that, it can really not hold. So that is actually the reason why that particular level did not hold. Now, so let's go to 4 hour time frame. On the 4 hour time frame, the market is actually still consolidating, but we know that this market is actually still bullish, and that's more of the reason why this zone was respected at. Now market responded to this zone, right? So market came to this block. This was actually the block that served as a rejection for it, and as you can see it here, this was actually a perfect one. Market get rejected here, and we'll have really buy this trade from there. We have accumulation, manipulation to this particular zone, right? Then distribution. So probably this particular block will serve as a rejection, but the overall trend of this is actually still bullish. So this means that market can really come back and be going up, probably to this particular block and be going higher. So this shows that on 1 hour time frame, there is no confirmation for us to sell this pair yet. But if this market, this particular thing is that is forming now, come back to break this low. So I'll be waiting for a pullback to go higher. Now let me draw what I'm actually talking about. If market come back and actually break this low, so I will be waiting for market to pull back to this zone, right? For me to be a seller, then actually go down. So that is actually how I'm going to trade gold for this week. But if that is not the case, right, and I will be expecting this particular block, right, to serve as a support level for me for to buy this pair. And this shows that this I can really get a correct zone that this pair might really work from. Probably when the market come to this zone, this is actually a fair value gap. I want market to come down to this level, right, to this block, right? So for us to really be a buyer on gold. But let's see what really happened. We surely send a setup on this during the course of the week. All right, and this should really be the end of our sections. And just like what I said, ensure you subscribe to this YouTube channel so that you can get additional materials as we are posting them, and also our Telegram channel. This is where I post my setup and I post my flashcards. So flashcards are educational materials that will really help you in the way that I see the market and I approach the market. So we also have a free course that you can really go through and actually study it and actually be better. All right. Thank you once again. Thank you for listening and thank you for subscribing. So I will see you in the next section. Have a good trading week. Bye.